In today's modern warfare, victory isn't just about troop numbers or how many tanks you can send to the front. In this era, dominance often comes from the sky. It's about detection speed, precision strikes, and advanced reconnaissance systems. And Russia, through increasingly accurate air power, seems to have figured that formula out. Mid-July 2025 became a turning point. A moment when Russian airstrikes hit two critical Ukrainian military positions. Not random locations, but places that directly supported Kyiv's battlefield efforts. One was a concentrated airborne brigade base, the other a UAV control hub. These weren't just physical strikes, they were blows to Ukraine's coordination, timing, and situational awareness. Rodinskoye, a small village in Donetsk, barely noticeable on a map, suddenly became a central point in modern war. Here, Ukraine's 25th Airborne Brigade had temporarily set up base. These aren't ordinary troops. They're highly mobile, well-trained, and often deployed for Ukraine's toughest missions. But mobility comes at a cost. Heavy vehicle movement, troop concentration, and logistical activity in Rodinskoye. It all showed up, tracked through surveillance drones, satellites, and Russian electronic sensors. Then the decision came. A Russian fighter jet released an FAB-1500 bomb. But not just any bomb, this one had been upgraded with a UMPC guidance kit, a modification that turns a dumb bomb into a high-precision strike weapon. When that bomb hit, the shockwave was massive. A crater nearly 15 meters wide opened up. Structures were destroyed. Vehicles burned. Dozens of troops had no time to react. The physical destruction was severe, but the disruption to morale and command was just as deep. Days later, over in Kherson, another strike was set in motion. Near the village of Olhivka stood a UAV control center operated by Ukraine's 39th Separate Brigade. In this war, drones are everything. They're the eyes, the ears, and sometimes the attackers. But all that tech relies on people, operators, terminals, cables. Russia understood that. And so, with surgical precision, a lightweight air-to-surface missile was launched, not to blow up the whole building, but to take out the very heart of Ukraine's UAV system. One hit was enough to cripple communications, destroy control panels, and kill a number of operators. As a result, frontline Ukrainian units lost their overwatch. Artillery couldn't be guided. Strikes became blind, just like that. Parts of Ukraine's digital battlefield went dark. These weren't isolated attacks. They're part of something bigger, a deliberate air strategy that's systematic and deadly. Russia isn't relying on brute force anymore. They're striking with logic, they're choosing targets carefully, then wiping them out with a single precise hit. They're not hitting forces already fighting. They're targeting troops before they move. They're not aiming at drone launches. They're hitting the operators behind them. They're not guessing where ammo depots might be. They're zeroing in on faint signals, hidden coordinates, and electromagnetic emissions. Russia's using every tool available. Military satellites, high-altitude drones, SIGINT platforms, EM tracking radars. Once a target is confirmed, fighter jets don't need to fly deep into Ukrainian airspace. They just release their bombs from 40 to 50 kilometers out and vanish before Ukraine can respond. This is Russia's new face of war. Quiet, sharp, and merciless. What happened in Rodinskoye and Olhivka wasn't just about explosions. It left strategic wounds. Ukraine lost trained UAV operators, a role that takes time to replace. Their elite brigade suffered critical losses. Frontline units lost coordination. Some areas were suddenly blind, but even more impactful was the psychological blow. Ukrainian commanders now have to question whether their safe zones are truly safe. They're forced to scatter their troops, to move more often, to complicate their own logistics and communications, but that only slows down their operations and weakens their force. This isn't about who has more tanks or who fires more artillery shells. It's about who can see first, who can strike first, and who can instill fear before a single shot is fired. As long as Russia maintains this kind of air dominance, as long as they continue using intelligence, precision, and stealth as their main weapons, then Ukraine will always be one step behind. And in the sky, there's only room for one winner. This content is created solely for educational and informational purposes. It is intended to provide insights based on verified data, credible sources, and careful analysis. Our goal is to foster a deeper understanding of modern military technology and current events, not to promote or endorse any form of conflict, propaganda, or political agenda. We strictly oppose the spread of misinformation and hoaxes. Every piece of information presented has been carefully sourced from reliable, publicly available references. We encourage viewers to approach the topic with critical thinking and respect for all sides involved, maintaining a focus on knowledge sharing and open discussion. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates on military tech, global conflict, and defense strategies. This is Tapur Update, and we'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp.